Okay, people, so for a few months now, I ain't even gonna lie, it's been in the back of my mind. I've been thinking, like, what's going on with the Dark Triad members? Like, we got the last couple of chapters where we had the big Magna versus Dante fight. It wasn't until the end of the last chapter where they kind of finally resolved it, and I was like, oh, okay, so we finally seen the closure to one of the members of the Dark Triad, because we had these big 3 battles going on: Yuno versus Zenon, Charlotte versus Vonica, and then Jack the Ripper versus Dante. But I was kind of like unsure of, like, okay, are we really going to get focused in on these fights, or are we just going to skim through them? And after last week's chapter, and definitely with this week's chapter, chapter 294, Black Clover, I think I know where things is going. I think, and I'm glad to see where things are going in terms of Yuki Tabata. He's not skimming through shit. Again, Black Clover's really changed. Fam, the ending of the anime, I said it last week and I'm going to say it once again. The ending of the anime has been a blessing in disguise for the manga. Because manga's already always kicked ass. It's always gone blitz, speed, fast, and stuff like that. But it's also been at its detriment to a certain degree in terms of the fast pacing. Because, like, some of the fights would just be kind of, skimmed over. It's okay. Now he's really putting his foot in, like we saw with the Magna fight, and now we're getting to see things that probably wouldn't have had that much focus, like the Dark Triad battles. I want to see this shit. I want to see those 3 monsters that have been built up now for a while of, you know, throwing hands. And oh, the Bay is here, fam. She's here. We got Vonica. And yeah, a lot to discuss. So without further ado, people, let's talk a little bit of that Black Clover Great Balls. I don't know, Shonen Jump this week decided to have a lot of bad bitches throwing down. Now we got Vonica and Noelle. Let's talk about it.
No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
Okay, so the chapter picks up from where the last one left off, with Magna basically falling out into Zora's hand. Zora actually catches him, and I like that little brotherly dynamic that they have. You gotta imagine that for 6 months of them training, they built some sort of bond, right? And it's still like a kind of, you know, Zora is still in character. He's gonna be like, hey, you know, when he's catching him, Magna's gonna be like, hey, thanks, bro. And he's like, I'm not your bro, fam. So Zora's still staying in character, but at the end of the day is also showcasing the dynamics of their relationship and just how proud, you could even probably argue, that Zora is of Magna, because he's the first one to there, you know, catch him. He's like, yeah, we did this, fam. We did this training, and look at the results. And I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked at what happened with the last couple chapters of Magna taking out Dante. Don't get me wrong, like I said, it made sense, and this chapter kind of showcased a little bit more clarification, just how insanely powerful the Dark Triad are, with Dante in particular. But yo, it was just really dope. And again, them starting up the chapter that way, I liked it. Like, Magna deserved all the shine, and they gave him even his props in this one. Because then following that, Asta's just there praising him like, yo, it took me and Yami together, and we barely took this dude down, and you did it by yourself. You're awesome. And those are the little moments, the little camaraderie that we haven't seen in a long time between the Black Bulls, because this arc has been very, very serious. We haven't had time for these little downtime moments where they could reunite, and hey, you know, because again, also Magna and Zora haven't been in the story this whole time, like we talked about last week. Like, you know, the whole time skip, they've been gone, and then since it actually started back up, they haven't been in the picture. They've been off training. So to see these moments and see Magna getting his props, even Noct at that one, like, I wish Noct would have actually said it, like, yo, you're very vocal about the negative stuff. How about you be vocal about, you know, giving props? Because Noct is thinking to himself like, yo, this is unexpected. What? But we'll get to that in a second, because Luck tells Magna right there, like, yo, I want to fight you again, which, man, it just takes all of that stuff that happened in the Heart Kingdom where Magna, you know, stormed off because basically he couldn't keep up with them and went on his own to train and everything. It's like, it all came full circle, and I'm really, really just, man, side characters getting the props they deserve in a really awesome way that makes sense, that's not BS. Like, where they do that at? Oh yeah, they do that right here in Black Clover, baby. And even Jack, like, for Jack to think to himself like, hey, I'm a commoner, which, you know, we could go back and forth about the whole validity of, like, why is we just now finding out about Jack being a commoner? But I also noticed that they put a distinction between commoner and peasant, and I don't know if that's always been the case. Maybe I just haven't really paid attention when it comes to that in particular, the difference between a commoner and a peasant, because I felt like they kind of classified them the same. Like, hey, you're a commoner, you know, you're just average. But I guess the difference between that is, like, a peasant is you're not only a commoner, but you're poor as shit. Because Jack is like, yo, I started letting commoners into my guild, and, you know, I was little by little doing it. But when Yami brought in a peasant, I thought he was nuts. He started bringing in, you know, somebody like Magna that's a peasant, Asta that's a peasant, but it actually awoken something in him to realize that, no, it don't matter what classification. Fuck all of that royal shit. None of that matters. Like, if you got it, you got it. And going back to what Noct was thinking, again, like he couldn't even believe it. He was like, hey, yo, somebody from the Dark Triad at 100% is close to an equal of a Supreme Devil. And for him to do it, I still can't even believe it. So again, I wish Noct just would have said that, because with all the nasty words he's had, and probably he's had a big change after the big battle that he had and reflected of his brother and all that stuff. But I would have loved for him to actually say, yo, good job. You know what I'm saying? Just good job. You did the damn thing. Especially that I've said before, like, Noct is really, really worried about the Dark Triad. Like, that's his main objective. He was even telling Asta, like, go on ahead, you know, I'll face these guys. You go fight the Dark Triad. To see that somebody, you know, like a low tier that you would not expect was able to take one down, I would hope and I wished Noct would actually say, yo, good shit. That's all. Just good shit. But it is what it is, and we cut to Morris, and Devils are apparently just pouring out, which means that we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to take care of, because these Devils is pouring through the portal, and Morris is actually shocked because he, you know, recognizes that Dante has been taken down, and he's wondering, yo, how did they do that? And honestly, I think that should be a big priority. Like, okay, we got the fight going on, and we see at the end of the chapter, like, shit is going to be resolved with Vonica, hopefully with Noelle and stuff like that, and Yuno is facing off against Xenon. We need to go focus in on taking Morris down. Like, if those two big problems that we have are kind of being addressed, and, you know, maybe if you want to send somebody else or whatever, but in terms of like Asta and Noct, go to Morris at this point. Forget about the Dark Triad. Get rid of him, because the portal is, you know, just pouring out demons. And apparently because of the defeat of Dante, the Tree of Qliphotht has actually like weakened a bit. Like, it's not, you know, as strong as it was, because it was mainly being powered by, you know, the three of them. But they still need to take down the Dark Triad, which, yeah, seems like, again, I've said, it's getting addressed now. And it seems as though we got some sensu beans in the house now, some sweets that are basically being used to recover. So that's probably a setup, because we're going to have some more big battles. And mind you, Asta just went through a crazy rigorous battle against some higher up demons, and he needed that. I wonder if that's actually going to reset his timer, now that I think about it. Like, is he going to have to wait X amount of time anymore, or because he used the last of, you know, Noct's recovery magic sweets, like, is that going to put him back at like, okay, he don't need to worry about anything anymore? Likewise with Magna. Again, I'm wondering how Magna is going to fare moving forward now that he used this big ace in the hole, which, don't get me wrong, you just took down Dante. Like, you don't need to do anything else. But I'm interested to see, like, can he be useful at this point, or is he just back to, like, you know, regular Magna? And fam, I really hope that whatever happened with Jack and Dante back there, I hope that this is the end, because as they're walking off, yet again, this piece of crap, like, yo, you took the L against Yami and Asta. Okay, they healed you up. Now you took the L against Magna, and you getting back up again. You can't even keep yourself composed, fam. When Jack walks back and he's like, yo, you real right now, right? Like, you being serious. And he tells him, shut up, I don't hate stubborn people, but the little insect won that one. Don't go raiding on his parade. That's a big deal for Jack's character. Like, right there, that shows character development on Jack the Ripper's side. The fact that he's, like, actually coming and getting pissed off, not for his own honor, not for anything else other than, like, yo, the peasant over there, he actually won this one. Now you playing games. And when we get the slash, you know, it turns black and we hear slash, I hope that that's really going to be the end of Dante. I hope that Jack the Ripper finishes him off, because, okay, now we dragging it, fam. Now you coming back too many times. You starting to remind me of Inuyasha Naraku. Like, Naraku, stay down. But just throughout that whole scene, my whole take of that was, wow, Jack's really, he's changing. He's developing. Really awesome stuff. And we finally cut back to a battle that I was really excited to see, and I was very, very disappointed that we haven't seen it in a long time. Vonica versus Rill and Charlotte, and you could tell that they can't keep up with her. Vonica, that beastly, which, by the way, what the hell was they, like, yo, Tabata, you've been a little bit on edge, mate. You got her tiggle bitties just going all over the place. What's going on, lad? I was just like, damn, yo, they got their own, like, yo, is this High School of the Dead or Black Clover? I'm just saying. But apparently one of the big things that's been giving Vonica her edge is that she's been basically using Loro Pechica's magic as like a extra boost. Like, she seemingly has her there. Like, she looks like she's not even really conscious, or she's conscious but like just in a different trance or some shit like that, because she got like a spell around her, and she's basically been using her magic in combination with Vonica's, and that's why Charlotte and Rill have had this hard time and probably haven't been able to take her out, because remember, Charlotte just had that big power up not that long ago either, using her true potential. So yeah, it seems as though Loro Pechica, which I can only imagine somebody, a sweetheart like Loro Pechica, she is going to feel horrible that basically Vonica gave them a hard time thanks to using Loro Pechica's magic, but also just Vonica being a nasty piece of work. Like, oh my god, I'm so glad we're back to Vonica. Like, in case you haven't been following me the last year and some change, I was really enthralled, and some of my favorite parts of this arc so far was the Vonica versus Noelle and Loro Pechica and all of them battle. I love that shit. So to be back to it, Yeah, baby. Because as she's ready to kill Charlotte there, Vonica, Noelle and Gaja show up. Gaja goes immediately. Yo, shout outs to Gaja he was a white knight right there. I ain't gonna lie. He straight up jumped to grab Lorda Pechica, and Noelle went in to stab Vonica, and she's like, I'm here as promised, Vonica. Let's freaking go. Oh my gosh. Round 2, Noelle versus Vonica. I am all here for it because, mind you, Vonica, a lot more powered up now, but also Noelle, she, trained with the elves and things like that, so she's gonna have some new techniques as well. I'm here for it, baby. Let's freaking go. Huge setups here. Very, very interesting, but it definitely seems as though we're probably going to go, like I said earlier in this video, I got an idea of where things is going. We're probably going to go, if we just finished up the Dante fight, and now we're focusing in on the Vonica fight, either we'll switch back and forth, or we're going to strictly stay with Vonica for a chapter or two, maybe even more, and then cut to and finish off the Yuno versus Xenon battle. But I think there's going to be a big twist with Yuno versus Xenon. I know that hasn't been addressed in this chapter, but that's just something that's going in my mind right now. I think that's going to get addressed at a given point of maybe like a big plot twist, or maybe Xenon is related somehow to Yuno or some shit like that. But where it stands right now, huge setup, and I'm so freaking hyped. Vonica still being a nasty piece of work. I'm curious what you guys think. For starters, do you think that Dante was killed by Jack the Ripper? You think Jack the Ripper finished him off? Your thoughts on Dante getting back up again? Does that invalidate, in a way, Magna defeating him? I mean, I don't feel like that, because at the end of the day, the battle was done. He was down and out. If this was a boxing match, the bell rang. Your thoughts on Vonica using Lorda Pechica to kind of kick Charlotte and Rill's ass, and your expectations and predictions for round 2, the rematch, the salty runback, Vonica versus Noelle. I'll be honest with you. I know this is a, shonen manga and the heroes is going to win. I'm still, I'm still simping for Vonica. I'm still rooting for Vonica, even though I know this is a losing battle, but by golly, she's freaking epic and I love it. And your overall thoughts and expectations for the Black Clover manga with chapter 295 and beyond. Yeah, I'm expecting greatness. We got Vonica on the scene, baby. I'm expecting we're going to either focus in on this and transition back and forth, or strictly focus in on this and then cut to Yuno and Xenon and finish off the remaining Dark Triad members. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links in the description below. I'm FunNeverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life. Bye. Have an awesome day. Peace in. And yo, Vonica, let's go. Noelle, Vonica, Lorda Pechica. Gaja, get your woman, fam. You do you. Have an awesome day.
So just go to find